I was just recording a different podcast, and now I phased through the floor into the back rooms, but the back rooms is this podcast.
And if that isn't the truest of sentiments, you clipped into a podcast, the most horrifying of spaces.
a podcast with two straight white guys.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, not another one.
Yeah, much like the Backrooms expansive area, podcasts are also oversaturated.
Yeah, especially with straight white dudes.
Especially with straight white dudes. All right, so we're talking a little bit different, doing something a little bit different this time. I think the Backrooms feature film is coming out in a couple of weeks. We're very excited about it. I think it's going to be a pretty cool movie. We wanted to talk about the horror short film that started it. That started that iteration of it that in my opinion, really like blew up the Backrooms as a concept. From Kane Pixels is his like YouTube name. I think his real name's Kane Parsons, who made this Blender short film when he was like 16 or 17.
16.
And it just
asshole.
There's a bit of rage in this conversation.
Guy.
Yeah, this guy.
Talented piece of shit.
Yeah. Who is by the way, like does other shit on his YouTube channel other than just the Backroom stuff that I hear is very good. I have not explored it much.
He started, I think, doing what is the anime with the
Attack on Titan?
With Attack on Titan stuff, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of where he started. And all that stuff. I mean, it looks like. Look, if that is like the first stuff he did, so all of it doesn't look great in the same way that like the Backroom stuff looks great.
Looks unbelievable in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And part of that is the like adding the crappy camera filter, like. But I think that's part of the genius of what the Backrooms are. Anyway, before we go full deep dive onto that and its expansive world, I think it is worth doing a little bit of time on creepypasta, internet horror. I am super ill-versed on this. I'm a huge horror movie fan. I basically read just horror novels. Like, I love the genre. I've never been at the right time and like from the beginning on a creepypasta thing to like follow it in that way. So I never got into them. Like I'm aware of them. I'm aware of Slender Man and Marble Hornets and the Backrooms and stuff like that. It's just never been my like, I got it. I've followed this since the beginning. I loved it. I know you are a bit more into them. Yeah.
No, I mean, like, and you just named probably the two that I am the most versed in, you know? So like the Backrooms, like I started watching the Backrooms shorts since I think he started posting them.
Yeah.
I think I was like super early on, like that first one blew up. And so then I just followed the series.
No joke, dude.
I can't remember how many millions of views the first one has, but it's many millions.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, same thing with Marble Hornets. Like, I think I was a little late to it. Like, I think I started after the first, like, 8 or 10 or something like that. And then I just kind of, like, watched the first several and then kind of followed the series going forward. But, like, I was super into, like, r/no sleep for a while. And then I even listened to some, like, r/no sleep, like, podcasts and things. So, like, the greater... And then there's, like, the KCP universe. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
So there's like this universe, this like it's like even hard to describe. It's like a fake government organization that is cataloging and describing monsters, essentially.
Ooh. I listened to a podcast that's similar to that.
So it's like it very well could be secretly connected to that in some way that you wouldn't expect. But yeah, it's essentially like this, like it's like it's almost like a group game almost.
Yeah,
like ARG kind of thing. Where people are like essentially just writing entries as if they are agents for this KCP, or they're uncovering this these articles about these, creepypasta monsters. And like I don't remember how many of them, like I don't know how many of them you would like super know that are in like the public consciousness at this point. But like things like Slender Man and like Wendigos have been added to this.
Yeah,
KCP.
Mothman in some way, I'm sure, like that kind of stuff. Yeah,
positive.
Like cryptid stuff, which I've been getting more into recently.
Yeah,
there's a funny TikTok, and I wish I remembered her name, but she posts like, which cryptids would I smash or pass, or which base would I get to with each cryptid, I think is the bit she's doing.
Amazing.
And she gets really in depth on it. It's really funny.
Let me double check my math here and just make sure that I'm describing. It's the KCP organization, right? SCP, not KCP, SCP, the SCP Foundation.
We found it, everybody. We're all good.
Yeah, fictional organization featured in stories created and contributed to the SCP Wiki, a wiki-based collaborative writing project launched in 2008. It's a shared universe. Special Containment Procedures is SCP.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Secret organization that is responsible for capturing, containing, and studying various paranormal, supernatural, and other mysterious phenomena known as anomalies, or SCPs, while also keeping their existence hidden from the rest of society. So there are a lot of creepypastas that are
connected to within that.
The SCP, or like even like if another like Slender Man becomes popular, there will inevitably be an SCP edition because of that.
Yeah. Kind of an all-encompassing version of creepypasta. Baby's first creepypasta, kind of like you could hop in on something you're interested in and go, and then kind of explore from there, which is very cool, because I think of creepypasta stuff, and specifically things like the Backrooms or like Marble Hornets, ARG, kind of like highly in-depth, like he posts a video and then in the description there's a link to an unlisted video that is, I think of that a little bit how I describe comics to somebody who's never read comics before, where it's like you have to learn how to read them.
Yes.
In a lot of ways, where like not only do you have to like learn how to read the page, you also have to understand that like there can be up to 4 or 5 Batman runs happening at any given time that are all technically connected. And so then crossovers become this big confusing nightmare where like one influences another. And so like if one arc is filler, the other arc is probably story, but it's too much story to like justify Batman also doing something else.
Yeah.
It becomes this really hard to follow, like kind of nightmare hellscape until you like give yourself over to the fact that it's like some issues are going to be weird and random, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's the kind of medium they are something that I should be more into.
Yeah.
And I typically have to watch explainer videos because I'm not good enough at like pausing a video midway through to read the label on a light fixture, which is what the Backrooms is. Like that's what you need in the Backrooms, is that kind of bullshit.
I mean, Marble Hornets is like, I'm sure we can find examples pre-Marble Hornets that did this level of ARG stuff, but I feel like they're almost like the blueprint when it comes to this level of crazy depth and connections between, like at a certain point you had to be following 2 or 3 different YouTube channels and 1 or 2 Twitter accounts, and they were all connected, and they all had like you had to crack codes in order to get the next video. Like it was crazy how in depth, like literally there was cryptographers, like
do you think there's like a level of barrier to entry that some of these things cross occasionally that like keep them from blowing? Because this is an interesting conversation I want to have about the Backrooms and some other YouTube shorts. We're going to talk about a bunch of YouTube short stuff as well that I have a couple of thoughts on and I'm always curious on. But do you think there's like a barrier to entry that creates a problem for these things, or do you think that's what makes them so cool? Because like obviously there are going to be some that go too far where it's like, how the fuck is anybody supposed to figure this out?
Yeah.
And I never know the line on that.
I think Backrooms navigates that line perfectly. I think
Backrooms does, yeah.
I think there's like there's stuff you can glean. I mean, like you can understand the main crux of the story just by watching it. Like you don't even have to watch the YouTube videos in the description. You'll still kind of get it. Or you'll still have an authentic, like spooky experience. I think like here's my thing. I love Marble Hornets. We've talked about it on the podcast multiple times. Is it even remotely perfect? No. No. I think Marble Hornets can go too far into that. Like the fact that the Twitter account, there were multiple Twitter accounts, there were multiple YouTube channels. I think it made for a really interesting thing at the time, but it was also incredibly hard to follow. Like, it was just really, really hard to follow. You had to be it had to be a part-time job for you a little bit. Yeah. I mean, you just had to super keep up with like the subreddit and things like that in a way that like other media did not require that level of active engagement. Now, the reality of the situation was I cracking any codes? No, I just followed the subreddit where people were talking about the codes and how they cracked them. And then I just followed the links that were posted. So the active part of it was, the actual like code cracking and that kind of crap was done by a very small portion of the audience. But if you weren't on the subreddit, you were not following, or if you weren't on the Twitter, and in the comments on Twitter, like you weren't following it. But there's still an authentic experience you can have after the fact by watching like explainer videos. Explainer videos, like you're not having the same experience, but it's still an authentic one.
Well, I find some explainer videos better than others, right?
Yes.
Like I remember the first like explainer of the thing because I missed the ARG for Shelby Oaks.
Yeah.
And so when it got announced that he was making a movie based on this thing called Shelby Oaks, me and a couple of friends were like, based on what? And we didn't know. And then somebody found a video, and that explainer video was really good because they treated it as if the ARG was like it was a real investigation going on.
Yeah.
Like they were like surmising a true crime thing and treated it like in character. And so it made it really fun. Yeah. And it made watching the explainer video scary. Because they would play the full clip video things in full. And so you got the experience of somebody guiding you through it instead of like sitting alone in your room, which I think is cool. And I also think this is an art form. ARGs, creepypasta, the Backrooms narrative thing is so uniquely internet in a way that I think is like beautiful, even if there's like a very high bar to entry and a very high like time commitment to entry that will make it inaccessible for a lot of people. So it's one of those things where it's like sometimes something isn't for you, right? And a lot of these haven't been like for me because I get intimidated by them. I get intimidated playing some video games that I feel like are like a job instead of a game. And so doing stuff like this has always been hard for me. So like the Backrooms, I watched a bunch of it for this. I had seen most of the main ones before, but I watched a bunch of it, and then I watched an explainer video to like guide me through so we could have a little bit more of a coherent conversation. Still not that coherent because it's not finished and also very confusing. And I heard in an interview, he said he's like one person, he has read one person who got it right, who like knew what was going on. And he's like, and that tweet got 2 likes. So if you can find that, you'll know what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's super funny to me.
And that's like the whole thing is like to go back in what you were talking about just a tiny bit, because I liked what you were saying. Like the thing that I find the most interesting about this kind of storytelling is how collaborative it is.
Yeah.
Like it is truly collaborative storytelling where like the Backrooms thing started as like a thing on 4chan. It was literally just like a picture of a creepy room,
and then somebody posted a caption. And that's it.
Like no clipping.
Wasn't it like a construction, like a retail space construction in like Wisconsin or something?
Yeah.
Like really random.
Yeah. And then it just birthed this whole creepy pasta movement, like, and that's how easily it can start. And then the other piece of it is like, somebody will write a creepypasta or somebody will make a video or something like that. And then that will become canon. And then everything after it will reference it or will add to it or will change it slightly. And like, it's just how I mean, in the same way that you're kind of describing, like, multiple runs of Batman at the same time, like everybody's kind of doing different things at the same time, but then everybody kind of coalesces on like one single message or like one single idea. Like something becomes particular, like I think the Backrooms, Kane Pixels, the Backrooms short was instrumental in the time and place and the monster and and that like just has been borrowed and used and changed and updated and added to since then. I mean, like Slender Man and Marble Hornets, like things that Marble Hornets did with Slender Man are now Slender Man. Like that is what we see as Slender Man. Things like that. Like that is one of the things I think is just so cool about this world is just how collaborative it is, and see how the original thing is changed and morphed by not just one author, but by many authors over years.
And I think that's a great point to jump onto the Backrooms specifically, and we can talk about this because I heard him in an interview recently on the A24 podcast with James Wan. I guess it's not really an interview; it's more of a conversation. They're not interviewing each other, but he talks about these he's like, look, I didn't originate this thing. This wasn't like my. He doesn't treat it like his baby in that way. He's like, I'm really passionate about it, but I saw this thing and was inspired by it like so many other people. His just happened to blow up. Like his just happened to be the version of it that a lot of people have found the most interesting.
Yeah.
And I think you turned me on to the original Backrooms short.
I think so.
Because I think you're like, hey, check this out. It's all made in Blender.
Yeah.
Which is, when you watch it, unbelievable.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it the first time I watched it. Like, it opens on real footage, which is such a fucking smart choice.
Which was an after the fact thing, by the way. I found out.
Oh my God.
I found out he was just like, he had been making this thing in Blender and was like, well, let me add this tiny bit of narrative at the beginning. And so none of the people in that apparently knew what they were filming. Like apparently Amazing. They're like, what is this for? And he's like, you'll see in a few days. And he like dropped it in and then released it. Amazing. Is my understanding of how it happened, which is so cool.
Yeah.
And also, funny Easter egg, he's the cameraman in that short.
Oh, is he really?
He's on Kane Pixels is on as the cameraman.
Yeah.
Which is just a funny detail. I don't know if that means anything narratively or if he's just like, I'm going to kill myself off. Which is hilarious.
I'm going to be the first dead.
Yeah. So you turned me on to it and I watched it and was like, this is kind of unbelievable.
Yeah. That a 16-year-old is making this in Blender.
And then you find that out and you like break a pencil or something, like you're really mad about it. Yeah. And then it just blows up. And I find it fascinating. We'll talk about this in a little bit more, but like what shorts happen to explode. You know what I mean? Like in the Backrooms was popular before this, but I think this is what launched it.
Not like this, yeah.
Not like this, yeah. So narratively speaking, is the narrative the thing for this first one specifically that blew it up, or is it just the fact that it was in? Is it form or is it content that like created what it became?
I think 90% of the people watching it have no idea what Blender is.
Yeah.
And have no idea that he was 16 when he made it. I think that genuinely, I would think that would be 75-90% of the audience would be ignorant to those two facts.
Yes.
So I narrative I think is an interesting aspect of this because like especially in the first one it's like there is a narrative. There's a story being told. But it's like loose. It's more tone. It's more scares. It's not necessarily like this grand story that it will enlighten some aspect of the human spirit. Like it's just I think
more just lore put into a loose kind of tonal poem in a lot of ways.
Right. And like the tone that it strikes is so creepy. Like it is it's genuinely scary. Me and Meg were watching it. Megan had seen I think maybe the first Backrooms, but I don't think she had seen any of the other ones. So we were watching it last night on the TV and boy howdy, like that shit got both of us.
Man, it's effective. There's some scares in several of them. I think like Motion Detected is one of them that's got one of the best scares to me, where like it's just playing these different clips of motion detection and audio disturbance, and then randomly you just see this thing like floating and like clipping into the ceiling.
Yeah.
And then it like zooms in on it and you're like, that's really, really fucking effective. That's really fucking effective.
Yeah.
The found footage 2, I think is what it's called. The one with the like, what is the creature to you, by the way?
I don't fucking know. Me and Meg also watched a explainer video because like I'd seen all of them.
Yeah.
I think I'd skimmed through the 45-minute one though. I don't think I watched that one in full.
I still have not. I just did not. I was watching a bunch of other shorts and did not have time to like watch it all. But in the explainer video, he hit the bullet points of it.
Yeah.
And it's got some genuinely horrifying things in there, like genuinely fucking scary.
I'm getting chills remembering some of them.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. When I saw it the first time, I read it more as like twigs or metal or cables or like it's something that's grown from the pieces of the Backrooms.
Yes.
And then like the video I was watching last night described it as like bacteria or something.
Okay, I think you and I probably watched the same video.
Was it the hour and a half one?
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
The bacteria monster, mold monster, or something like that.
It makes a ton of sense because like especially with the mold that they talk about in whatever the second or third episode, I don't remember any of the names of any of it.
Oh, because half of them aren't names. Like half of them are random dates and letters.
Mar 1190 archive.tar.
Okay, cool, right.
So I always read it as like this like form that has been ripped from the walls of the Backrooms, you know. So it's like cables and metal and wood and and oil or some shit, but I never read it as being like moldy. But I think it does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I always kind of described it as like it looks like the idea of a monster. Like it looks like the under framework of CGI in a lot of ways. Like not perfect. It's not a perfect one-to-one of how that stuff looks.
Like
but the way it moves, where you're like, it looks like you're pushing the point on the elbow to make the elbow move, and then you'll animate over it later. Like it kind of reminds me of that in a way that I think is fascinating for a short made entirely in Blender. Because he can clearly do really photoreal things. Like all of the hazmat suit people later, it's like they don't look 100% perfect, but the part that doesn't look 100% perfect is how they're interacting with the world. It's not like if you took a still image of it, you'd be hard pressed to be like, oh, this is completely fake.
100%.
And so I like the idea of really going strange with a monster where it's like it doesn't seem to have many joints until it has a lot of joints, right? And that is something I want to talk about first. I know there's a subsect of the Backrooms like fandom or community that hate the monster in the Backrooms. They think it's a bad idea. Because the Backrooms at the end of the day is a liminal space horror story. It's supposed to just be about it's a creepypasta thing made and authored by thousands of people. There's no supposed to be. But for a lot of people, it feels as though it's a liminal space horror that should just be about dropping into this like space that's just wrong enough, just like impractical enough, just off enough, and then wandering forever until you die. And I don't know, where do you land on that? How do you feel about that? Because I personally like the monster. I think the monster is maybe the most interesting part of what Kane Parsons added to it, more so even than the like government conspiracy stuff, in my opinion. I don't know, where do you land on the moss creature, the bacteria creature?
I think that is partially dictated by the form with which he is telling the story, i.e., what's he supposed to do? Make an infinitely long, like make a film that, you know what I mean? Like that takes weeks for this guy to just die in a like, I think I agree. I agree with everything you said. Like I think I think the creepiest thing about it is is the monster, is like the ideas that he has with that monster and with like what's happening in the world because of it.
Yeah.
The government conspiracy async thing. I think it's super fun. Like, I love that shit.
Super fun. It's like Stranger Things taken to a weirdly different level and like actually using the conspiracy part.
Yeah. So I think that stuff is really interesting and cool, especially to see like how the world is like, how the backrooms are like updating over time.
Yes,
and
that's
we never see anyone in them.
Yeah,
creepy as fuck.
The second one where like has one of my favorite scares, if not two of my favorite scares, where she's in the room and it's the first time she's seeing all the mold or bacteria or whatever exactly it is, and the creature moves like midway through it and you're like, oh, it's been there the whole time. That shit will always horrify me.
That one's a good one. Chills
but it's that, and then
it.
when she gets stuck and all of a sudden the back rooms start moving, like they just start changing for a second, and then the green light up wall, I don't know where I land on that.
That I also don't know where I land on either.
However, the idea of him taking the back rooms is this, like, there's the theory in that video you and I watched where it's like, if you're tethered to something from the outside world, so you're holding a rope or you're with a group of people, it doesn't change.
Yeah.
But somebody just veers off down a half hallway because he hears a voice, and all of a sudden he's teleported months into the future.
Yeah.
The time space element I find really cool too, right? Yeah. It's not just like it's constantly changing and evolving like a labyrinth. It's that it will also teleport you to different points in time.
Yeah, man.
That part of it is one of the coolest additions, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That and the addition of like making not all of the back rooms just that yellow wallpapered thing, like adding cityscapes and the idea of like there are parts of it where it's like it's trees but it's wallpaper. You know what I mean?
Man.
I don't know what that's about, but it's intriguing. It's interesting. It makes me kind of lean in.
There are, and that is part of the grander Backrooms thing. Mm-hmm. Like some of that stuff, you know, like I think it's in the very first one where we see that like creepy hotel looking exterior. But it's like a courtyard, but it's like that's
reversed. It's like it's like a building was built around it's really fascinating.
That's a Backrooms photo. That's like a famous Backrooms photo. The I don't remember if it's in found footage 2 or 3, where I think it's 2, where she drops into the like pool area. Mm-hmm. That's another series of, I think there's an artist who made those, who made this like series of like, you know, water pool kind of, I don't even think they were supposed to be Backrooms. I think they're supposed to be aesthetically pleasing, but they're also just like creepy and liminal.
Yeah, yes, that's the best part about the Backrooms is like, I don't know, the lighting is fine. And it's all fine. It's like got an aesthetic. If that was like one room in your house, be kind of awesome. Yeah. Be kind of a cool vibey thing. Yeah. The fact that it goes on forever and there's a bunch of like little caveats that lead nowhere and also do nothing and serve no functional purpose other than to be there is what makes it so horrifying. Like I just read The Haunting of Hill House, the book. By the way, if you ever read it, it's the show adaptation, not a... It's a spiritual adaptation only, and I mean that literally. There's no similarities other than the fact that there is a house, and a couple of names he uses, and maybe a theme or two.
That's so funny. I thought that might have been the case, but I had no idea. I don't know any. I have not read the book, so
it's a great choice. But a big part of what they talk about with the house is that the architect, the creator of the house in the book, built it wrong. So if you're looking at the house from outside, you can see a bedroom and you can see this like tower. But if you're in the bedroom, you can't see the tower because he built the angles of the room to be like, instead of 90-degree angles at corners, he built them at like 89 degrees. And so the entire house feels off balance naturally to you as a person. Right? Like you're standing, like you walk in and you're like, something's not right. And you could never conceivably know it unless you looked at blueprints.
Yeah.
But like the human body and the human mind is so pattern recognition based that like we look at a space like a little crevice in a wall and we're like, okay, this is clearly designed for something like this. The Backrooms takes that like innate human thing about you and adds a bunch of stuff that doesn't make sense. You're running through a bunch of rooms with pillars that lead nowhere, right? You're having to squeeze through a tiny little wall to get into a room that turns around another corner that opens up into a big space. It doesn't make sense. It's almost more like exploring a network of caves than it is a house.
Yeah.
And that's one of my favorite things about it. Like the closest approximation in like human is like the Winchester house, you know, that whole thing where like that lady just kind of lost her mind and just kept building to nothing. And so you tore that house and it's insane. Like there's just nothing about it makes sense. It's kind of like that. And that's the innate fear of it. I don't know where I'm going with that. I just find that as an interesting concept of what makes the Backrooms interesting and scary, especially when you're being chased by a monster and you're having to go through this weird labyrinth and you have no idea when all of a sudden you're going to teleport or fall through a hole and then no clip 2,000 feet in the air. Yeah, which is fantastic. I think it's so cool.
Yeah, I think one thing I want to talk about specific with the Kane Pixels stuff is the way that he is able to hide how the choices he makes in order to hide the fact that this is a Blender short are all genius. My God, it's so good. I.e., the first one opens on real footage of people in the real world, and then it drops you into the Backrooms. The fact that it's shooting on a very old school camcorder, and so you can make it digital
pixelation and lines
and the thing that I love is as he's getting better, he starts stripping some of that, like it's going forward in time, and he's stripping some of that stuff away. So like the renders themselves look better, so he doesn't need to hide things in the same way that he does in previously.
By the time he's at found footage 3, it's unbelievably realistic.
Yeah, it's incredible work by the end of this series. And who knows if he's like done working on it. Sorry, my phone is listening to me.
My understanding is he's not. My understanding is the movie is very much like a part of the thing that he's doing.
Yeah.
And he just offhandedly said it to James Wan. He's like, I'm not done with the Backrooms. Like I'm not done with YouTube. He's like, I make a living off of YouTube. I'm not done making stuff on there. So whether or not he takes a long break after being in Backrooms land in a feature film for years, I will see, but he's not done with it. Right. I don't think the movie's like the button at the end.
Yeah.
Which I find also very cool because the movie I think is modern day. I think the movie doesn't take place in the 90s.
I'm unaware of what time period it takes place.
I could be wrong because the camera they're recording on is old. Like there's found footage sequences, which by the way, also some of those found footage sequences are entirely in Blender. He was like, I could not do that. Like I had to do some of that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's so maybe it's not. But I could have sworn I saw a cell phone in one of the clips.
Probably.
So anyway, back to what you were saying. Sorry to interrupt.
What was I saying?
No, you were talking about the ways he hides it and as it goes on.
Yeah, I think he makes a lot of really great decisions because, like, look, there are a couple points, maybe halfway through the series, where he starts showing like where you see character models that are people, like not in the suits, and you can tell those are character models. Like those don't look phenomenal, but like hiding, like obscuring people in the hazmat suits. Genius. Like
muffling the voices so he can play more parts. Genius.
Yes. In the very first one when he's breathing into the mic, and so the
mic on the camera that he's holding.
Yes. And so it like blows, it like pops in that way that you would if you were holding a camera right in front of your face, and it just like really just like sells it, like brings you into that world so incredibly well. And it's crazy that this kid is as young this I mean, he's an adult now, but like when he was 16 he's making really, really smart decisions like that to just like completely sell the world.
And we'll talk about more shorts. I keep saying that, but we'll talk about more shorts in just a minute. But you and I talk about that a lot in like the short films we've watched from like, people we went to school with, or people like we know, or people who just like, hey, I am sending this to you because we're a friend of a friend or something like that.
Yeah.
And it intentionality is so not there.
Yeah.
We're like, one of the main things you and I talk about every time we make something is like, you know, what is the perspective? What's the coolest version we could do with when nobody notices, right? Like you and I talk a lot about that on this one I made in my like capstone college movie. We talked a lot about like, oh no, the camera has to be stationary or handheld. And like we had to have those conversations for each section of the movie.
Yeah.
Where we're like, because we made a decision, we're like, this is an emotional thing why the camera does something. That kind of stuff is so gone. And we talk about found footage a lot. You just wrote a found footage thing. And I've written a found footage thing. I'm a huge found footage nerd.
Yeah.
And before you wrote it, you were like, what are the things, like, what are the ones to watch? And I was like, here's the ones to watch, and here's the things not to do. I hate score. I hate score in found footage movies. I'm okay with, like, sound design that gets close to being music. Like, I can live with that. I hate when there's just, like, clearly somebody's, like, piano scoring the fucking found footage bullshit. That is for faux mockumentary shit. Like, do it in that, because it's different. Yeah. But it's stuff like that where like you watch these things and you're like, oh, you just wanted to tell a movie, you just wanted to make a movie, you didn't want to make a found footage movie, and I think you broke it. You broke the idea of what makes these cool. Yeah. Right. Anyway, that's a rant, and I think you're exactly right. He's so smart with his intentionality on this shit.
Yeah, man.
And also he's really effective at fucking scaring you.
Yeah.
Backrooms, his iteration of Backrooms. The fucking stuff you don't notice that you're like, is this a mistake? Where like the creature, it's that section when he's running through like the hall of pillars,
the infinite hallway kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's like it's clipping through the pillars, but not completely. It looks like it's a mistake, but it's so clearly not. It's so clearly this creature's just interacting with the world, and then the sound. Whatever sound, like however he created that kind of like yelling, screeching, like
trumpety, it like genuinely sounds like a trumpet to me.
That is the correct. Yes, I could not think of a way to put it. That is the way to put it.
Yeah.
Sounds. Oftentimes, the thing you hear and can't see is more horrifying than anything you could show. There's a section in the movie, the 1970s Black Christmas movie. That is genuinely horrifying. That's like, and you don't see anything. You just hear somebody freaking out, and you're like, I think I might throw up now. There's a chance I'm going to throw up. And it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think he's so good at that. And like, I can't remember which one it was in, but it's like the foggy hallway. It's the first time the like async runs into a creature.
Ooh, that one's like the scariest one to me. That episode.
Yeah, and it's like they're hearing something, and it's like vaguely human. And it's foggy, and you can kind of see the shape of the creature like standing there, and then all of a sudden it starts moving, and you just see the like edges of it doing like that, and they're like, "It's not human, it's not." Horrifying, God, genuinely horrifying. That and then
the voice of somebody calling out. He's like looking for them, and then he looks down this long ass hallway, and then he hears that thing yelling in a human voice.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, Megan, when we were watching it last night, she's like, man, this kind of reminds me of Annihilation a little bit. And it is so Annihilation coded. And I'd not pulled that. I was like, dude, it fucking is.
Yeah, this like, weird transformative, like place that changes you shit. And then the mimicking of voices and like really cool.
Yeah. Oh. Love that. I love Annihilation. As we know from the letter A draft, I love that movie.
We got to do another one of those drafts. Those were very fun. That was very fun. Okay. Any other backroom stuff specifically that we want to talk about? I know we were loose. The narrative of this is very strange and weird, and it's like hard to recant. Go find YouTube videos that do it very well.
Yeah. I mean, there was like a 3.5 hour one that I was like, do I want to watch that one just for fun? Maybe.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe you tackle it.
Yeah, maybe. But I will eventually for sure.
Yeah.
No, I'm just I am incredibly impressed at the fact that a 16-year-old was able to like take this, like, you know, like he said, he didn't invent it. Definitely brought his voice to it. And he has a very, very strong voice.
And strong enough that he's making a fucking movie with a crazy cast.
Yeah.
With
A24
and Renata Ranzva. That's not her name. I'm blanking on her name. I said it yesterday to somebody. Renata Ranzva, I think, something like that. Who I'm a big fan of. I really like her.
That is her name. I don't know how to. I didn't know Mark Duplass was in it.
Oh, not only is Mark Duplass in it, Mark Duplass took the movie because he's famous for working with new directors and protecting them on set.
I love that.
His whole thing is he'll show up and he'll back the creative side of it, and it's it's amazing. It's really
that's for him.
Love you. And it's really cool because he got on set and he talked about it and he was like, "Oh, I was completely unnecessary. This kid knew exactly what he was doing."
I love that.
He just had this this sense about he knew what he wanted, right?
Yeah.
And all we were there for was to help.
Yeah, clearly.
And so, okay, that's my last Backrooms question. What does the movie need to do to be successful in your eyes, do you think? And that's a loose question. I don't mean
Oh, what a great question.
Because my thought on it is and I've heard people have started to see it. It had a premiere, and so there's been a few light, I think the embargo's still on, but people are allowed to discuss it on social media a little bit.
Yeah.
And everything I've heard is that it's quite good. It's a slow burn. It feels to me like it's an extension of the shorts.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering what exactly that has to be to be successful and not feel just like this weird different thing than the short films.
What I don't want it to be is a slave to the short films.
Yeah,
I don't want
great
it
way to put that.
I don't want it. I want it to be a feature film in this world and not feel like it has to connect in a bunch of really tiny ways.
Yeah. Or if it does connect in small or big ways, I don't want to have seen all of the stuff to understand it. I want it to be able to be its own thing.
Yeah, I completely agree. I don't want this to be the finale to his series of shorts. I want this to be a piece of the puzzle, but not in the way that you feel. If I'm watching the film, I don't want to feel the other puzzle pieces that I'm missing.
Yeah,
in a way that there's going to be, because of this world, I'm gonna feel like I'm missing puzzle pieces.
Yeah,
but I don't want it to feel. I want it to feel like because I don't understand the world, not because I haven't seen the shorts. You know what I mean?
Async will probably be in the movie somewhere. You know what I mean? However big or small, I don't know. And you said standing on its own and not being slave to it, right? I think the idea of the Backrooms, the first Backrooms found footage, that first short, and then found footage 2 and found footage 3, you could really just watch those and be fine.
100%.
You know what I mean? Those really, really stand on their own in a way that I think is smart. And then all of the stuff in the middle is just these great little nuggets, some of them being very cool standalone short films in their own right.
Yeah.
That's my take on it. Is I think the movie needs to do that to be successful. And I hope it doesn't have a traditional third act horror sequence. I am fine with the running through the world, being chased by the moss monster, the whatever it is, the bacteria monster. I'm fine with that, but I want it to be like the shorts do it.
Yeah.
Where it's just glimpses of it and people getting taken. I don't want it to be too Hollywood by that point. And I'm hoping with A24 they don't go that far. I want a lot of it to be implied, I should say. I want a lot of it to just be you're hearing it and you're seeing glimpses of it, and you never get this one shot where you're it's walking towards camera or it picks them up slowly or some shit like that.
I want it to be and this is maybe a really tall order, but I want it to feel like Blair Witch or something.
Yeah.
Where there is a culmination, but it's not typical. You know what I mean? It's there's no understanding to be had. You know
there's
what
no
I mean?
payoff.
There's no payoff. The payoff is
ends.
what the fuck just happened.
And having to sit with that feeling.
Yes.
The payoff is him going, I don't know. And how uncomfortable that makes us as people.
And I think that's what a lot of his, the found footage is, what those do really well is you are put into this horrifying scenario, being chased by this horrifying thing. Done.
Live with it.
You know what I mean? I hope it doesn't get overly, I've seen exactly one person talk about it. And I didn't even watch that much of the video. I moved past it. Jay Stoobs. I don't know if you follow any of her stuff on TikTok.
Yes, I saw the beginning of her TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah, and she was just talking about her really liking it. I respect her opinion. And if she likes something like this, I feel like it will be good and cool. Let me put it that way. And so I'm excited, man. Like I really, really care about online horror storytelling like this.
Yeah.
And so I really want nothing but the best for this one and for Kane Parsons. And I'm excited, man. This is cool as hell.
I think that's the perfect segue into talking about what else you and I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
I didn't think we thought we would do 45 minutes on Backrooms.
I don't think we thought either.
We want to talk about horror shorts and this very specific pipeline that's happening right now.
Yes.
Of horror YouTube, horror online pipeline to making horror feature films.
Yeah.
The Philippou brothers are not the best. They directed Talk to Me and Bring Her Back. Raka Raka is their YouTube. They're not necessarily horror. They're more stunt guys. So I'm surprised when they made the jump to horror, but they did that. And then Kane Parsons made this thing that's directly being changed into a feature film. Chris Stuckman, very famous for loving horror and championing horror, makes Shelby Oaks, right? Dan Trachtenberg makes a couple of short films, one of them a horror short film, and now he's directing. He's the chief creative mind behind the Predator franchise.
Yeah.
There's this kid named Dylan Clark. Did you end up watching Portrait of God?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to talk about Portrait of God next. Portrait of God is one I've been fascinated with for a while.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of reasons why.
Yeah.
That have to do with the short and also have nothing to do with the short. But I want to talk about Curry Barker. Milk and Cereal. We did an episode on Milk and Cereal. It's a great episode. Go listen to it. Go watch that movie. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
He has a movie called Obsession coming out. And I've been talking to some people about Obsession in my life, and I am shocked at how excited I am.
Yeah.
Because I loved Milk and Cereal. I think some of his sketch stuff is really funny. I have not been a huge fan of his other short films. They're all like 20 minutes long. They're weird. They definitely feel like he's doing most of it.
Yeah.
They're not bad by any means. They're just not my cup of tea exactly. And then Milk and Cereal is so my cup of tea.
Yeah.
I really like that movie. But Obsession, I've been hearing about it for like 2 years. Out of festivals, it's rave reviews, how great people think it is. The marketing campaign really feels like they believe in it. They're doing this whole like text thing right now. Oh. So Breck gets a text every day. Some of them are voice messages, and they're really weird and creepy and cool.
I love that. I have not heard about that.
It's awesome.
That's fun. That's so smart.
I know. I'll forward you just a few of the voice message things, but so I've been hearing about how great the main actress is in it. Like, Nikki, I can't remember her Nikki's the character. I can't remember the actress name. I hadn't seen her in really anything.
I'll pull it.
But I've been hearing about all that, and there just feels like there's this air about it. And then you find out Curry Barker has now made a movie with Aaron Paul, and Aaron Paul posted about it and was fucking raving about him. He's like, I want to work with these guys again so bad. He's like, a couple times in my career, I've worked with somebody who knows what they want as much as these guys, who have as clear a vision. And he just got tapped to do Texas Chainsaw Massacre for A24.
I know, I saw that.
Like,
this guy.
And to be clear, his movie hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
Obsession could be a box office bomb, which would normally kill a first-time director.
Yeah.
He has already made another movie, to my knowledge. I think he's already made it, or maybe it's somewhere in development. I don't know, but no, it is, because Aaron Paul said worked with.
Yeah,
he said
I think it's either in production or finished production.
Yeah. And he's making Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which A24 has been developing for like a year and a half. Like, they have not made any progress on it. And then guy whose movie hasn't come out yet is doing it.
Yeah. How old is he? He's young too, right?
He's 27.
Fuck off.
I know, dude. So anyway, I find Obsession, and Obsession will probably be our next episode if you have some time to go out to the theater and see it, and then we'll probably do Backrooms the episode after based on when they're coming out in our release schedule. Because I've heard nothing but great things about Obsession, and I just find it fascinating that Milk and Cereal got him where he is now, when none of his shorts really seemed to, and his sketch stuff was really successful, but never blew up into him getting like a comedy movie or some shit.
Yeah.
He's the guy that made the one of my favorite sketches ever is the his friend didn't like Dune 2 enough, so he's like transporting him somewhere else and changing his identity. He's like, it's this or I kill you. It's this or I kill you. And it's like, look that one up. It's really funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, so thoughts on Obsession? Have you seen the trailers or anything?
I have seen bits of trailers. I haven't watched. I don't think I've watched a full one.
Good. Like, you should go in totally blind. The marketing has been fantastic. Like, go see the movie and then watch the trailers and stuff, because it's been great. Like, really cool marketing.
I know what it is. You know.
Yeah. I've just heard it's great, and I'm so excited and so happy for that dude, and also angry. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, so that, and then now let's talk about Portrait of God.
Yeah.
What did you think of this short film as a short film?
I was already, so I watched all of the Backrooms stuff, so I was already like on the edge of my seat, spooked.
Yeah.
And so then I watched Portrait of God, and it just continued down the spooky train.
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting. Like, I think I really like it. I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
I don't have any super hard opinions one way or the other, but I think it's really cool.
Okay. You're exactly where I was when I watched it. So when a YouTube horror film blows up to the degree that Portrait of God did, where I just found that organically, like on Twitter, somebody posted about this, and then I started seeing a lot of people posting about it. When that happens, I always watch it because I'm always curious, because YouTube short films, even ones that get a big following, rarely blow up like that. Yeah. So I watched it, and at the time I thought exactly like that. I was like, this is cool. This is a cool short film. I'm shocked it is as big as it is, because it starts on a 30 to 40 second stagnant shot of just a projector screen falling with a quote and somebody walking. Like, it does not start where you think it's going to start for something that like would grab your attention.
No.
It's horrifying. It's really scary.
Yeah.
Like the creature in the corner behind her. Did you notice that? Oh, go back and watch it. Okay.
I'm good.
During the voice message thing.
Just kidding.
During the voice message thing, you can just see the two glowing eyes behind her in the corner.
Cool.
For a while. And then you can start noticing the outline of it. And then it's gone. But it has one fundamental scare that I think is brilliant, which is the projector screen coming up and it being like, that is genuinely great. Did you look anything up about it, or did you just watch it?
Just watched it.
This is being developed into a feature film.
Oh, I knew that. I know that now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what is it about it? What is it about this one? It's this kind of thing that I'm always just chasing of, like, what made this the thing?
I don't know.
Because you and I have talked about that recently with some stuff where we're just like, I don't know what about this made it like do this thing or get into here or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. Cause like I have a couple of short films we're talking about doing, and I need to pitch you some other ones and like see where we want to go and try. But you and I have talked a lot about like trying to change up what we've been doing, do more stuff like this one that we will hopefully be releasing this month. That I directed and you shot and edited, and it's something we're both really proud of and is really cool.
Yeah.
We want to do more stuff like that, where it's just like this weird conceptual thing. It's more like an idea than a movie.
Yeah.
And I watched something like Portrait of God that is very much, there's narrative and themes and a lot to be inferred with no real anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if you found it. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. I was curious, and I had remembered it, and so I wanted you to watch it so we could chit chat about it.
Yeah. I agree. I don't really understand why certain things get as popular as they do online. Yeah. Specifically when it comes to like horror stuff like this, where it's just like, look, don't get me wrong. I think it's really cool. I think it's really scary. Again, like I've seen stuff that I thought was cooler and scarier that didn't get the same attention that this one is getting. So I don't know, man.
I don't know if it's that it implies such a big world, because a lot of these guys, like, Chris Stuckman raised his own money and made his own movie, but like they're not. Curry Barker didn't make Milk and Cereal 2 or a bigger version of that movie, or one of his shorts got turned into a thing. This is one that's like directly being turned into something.
Yeah.
It's like directly becoming a bigger movie.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's the implied world nature of it. Like, you could see this as a standalone short, but you could also go, wow, there's a lot you could do with that. Like as a concept of like this weird painting and what makes it come out. Like there's a lot you can do in a way that I worry will become like a Bye Bye Man type narrative, which is a very bad horror movie. Or it could be The Ring, which is a very good horror movie.
Yeah.
But it feels to me like it's going to become one of those like investigative ones.
Yeah.
And I just don't know. Like, so I have been taking that idea and playing with it. Like, I have something I'll pitch you off pod. That is very now. Yeah. Okay. So it starts on. Let me go ahead and post the script. Anybody can use it. It's fine.
I think an interesting analog here is David F. Sandberg and Lights Out.
Yes.
Like I think like Lights Out I think is like punchier and is much more of like here's I mean like here's the premise and the punchline. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like
quick in and out, like 2.5 minutes long.
And like there's so much more that can be done with that premise.
Yeah, it introduces a monster. Like that's the thing about it that's fascinating. Is it just introduces a monster and that's all it is. But it introduces a monster you want to see do some more stuff.
Yeah, you want to see all the different ways that you can tell that monster story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and look, I don't think Lights Out is like a perfect movie by any stretch of the imagination.
But it's cool.
But it's
fun.
Cool. Yeah, like I think he's an interesting analog here because again, he's one of those people that like made a short film. It was on YouTube, got really popular. It was in film festivals and stuff too, but it's directly off the back of its YouTube popularity that it got made into a feature and then thus thrust him into Hollywood filmmaking.
Yeah, into doing multiple Shazam movies and Until Dawn and all this stuff.
Right. So like I think he's an interesting analog there, but like I think I understand why Lights Out had that level of popularity because again it's like kind of it's punchy, so it's like it's you're dropped right in and it's kind of spooky within the first 30 seconds, where in the first 30 seconds the screen has not finished moving within the first 30 seconds of.
I literally timed it. I literally paused it at a certain point and was like, it's still this one shot. Like,
yeah.
And it's just interesting. I don't know. If you haven't seen Portrait of God, go watch it. It's a cool short film that's like interestingly directed and has some weird ideas and is pretty surreal. But it's really one of those ones where it's like, it just takes place in a room. You know what I mean? And those are hard, man. Those are really, really hard to make cool. So it's inspired me to like trying to look at some of the ideas I have and go, okay, is there a weird, like, what if I strip this back 25%?
Yeah.
And just take out 25% of the stuff and what's the core of it? And is there something we can do with that? Like I have something I wrote into a feature that I was like, maybe this could just be a short film, not as a proof of concept short film for that feature. Just a short film wherein you were like, I want to know more about what this is about, and not I want to know more about that character, you know, like something like that. I don't know. Anyway, short films are weird.
that's the thing I find really interesting, and I think that's a good point you bring up. Is it's like so rarely about character and so much more about world. You know, like where like I think you and I both come from a very like character focused.
Yes, we're very narrative character. We're not the biggest surrealism guys. Like
and like that really seems to be like what I don't know if it's the internet or the industry or whoever wants. They want somebody who can build a world rather than like build a character from these shorts. And I think that's at least good insight for us as we continue, if we want to continue to make things online, is really trying to put more energy into the world as opposed to more energy into the character that we're building. Yeah, which is a little sad to say, but it's also kind of true.
But also not a bad thing. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with doing a conceptual idea, something that's just really like, I was interested in this experiment, I think that's also okay. Yeah. Anyway, any other short films you watched in prep for this that you think are worth noting and pointing out?
I watched a couple of Film Riot shorts, and I will still never understand why Ryan Conley has not made a feature.
Yep.
I don't understand. Like, I don't get it, man.
I don't understand why he hasn't just done it himself.
Yeah, true.
Clearly, he's got the friends and the connections that he could do it a pretty big feature for pretty cheap.
Yeah.
And the audience that would be able to fundraise and stuff. Like,
yeah.
I don't know what's going on. Film Riot's weird. I don't watch it very often anymore, but I still root
in a couple years.
I root for those guys hard. Like I really want them to succeed because I like those people.
Yeah, dude. DFW folks, we always want to shout out, you know?
Yeah, so just interesting and weird. But okay, this has been Backrooms and short films and our weird relationship with like making stuff online. Again, we have some shorts, Garbage Night, Attic Box, up on this channel, and we will be releasing another one hopefully this month. That is kind of a weird conceptual idea that we're both very proud of and stars two of our very good friends. Very excited about releasing that. Watch it. Shane, do you have any recommendations?
I have a game.
Oh, fuck. Okay, backing it up. We have a game. Let's do it.
Let me get the game up and running. This is a game called First Frame. What you're going to have to do is I have a list of directors, a list of their debut films, and the age they were when they directed it. What you're going to do is give me a name, a film, and an age with Kane Parsons being 20, or I think he was 18 when he started working on the feature. He's now 20. Now that it's releasing. So go ahead and see of these lists, of the names on this list, who was how old when they directed what feature.
First, okay. Well, some of these I know. So let's start just Paul Thomas Anderson.
Actually, let me do this one. Paul Thomas Anderson.
I believe, I could be very wrong about this, but I believe he was 26 when he directed... oh, wait, no. I'm incorrect about this, because his first movie was Hard 8, wasn't it? I'm fairly certain it was Hard 8, which means he was 24. Because I think he was 26. Talking out loud, I think he was 26 when he directed Boogie Nights. So 24. Okay. Kane Parsons, The Backrooms, and 20. I know that one. Oh, it's the age ones that are really tripping me up, because I know Christopher Nolan was The Following. That was his first movie. I don't know how old he was, so let me give a wild guess that he was 31 when he directed that. I'm probably very wrong about that. David Fincher was Alien 3. Oh, how old was David Fincher when he directed Alien 3? I'm going to guess 29. Ooh. I'm going to get like all of the ages wrong. Steven Spielberg, The Sugarland Express, and I'm going to guess 27. Oh, no, 26. Denis Villeneuve. I'm guessing August. No, The Duelists, right? Yeah, Duelists. I'm going to guess. Fuck, I'm really off here. There's no way.
I think my thing broke because there's not enough ages for all of the. I think something broke on my game.
Martin Scorsese, Who's That Knocking at My Door, 27, and then Ridley Scott or Denis Villeneuve with 40, which I know is incorrect. And I don't know who directed a movie so late.
August 32nd. So who's 40?
Oh, 40. Ridley, because I think Denny was younger. I don't know what age he would possibly be, but
all right. You got 3 of the 8.
Oh, God damn it. Was it the ages that fucked me on all of them?
Not all of them.
Damn.
Do you want to continue? You want to try to...
No. Give it to me, because I'm like, that was my best.
It is Steven Spielberg directed The Sugarland Express. I believe he was... I'm going to get this wrong, too. I believe he was 27. Denis Villeneuve directed August 32nd on Earth. Paul Thomas Anderson, Hard 8. He was 26.
Interesting.
He was 27 when he directed
Boogie Nights. Okay.
Boogie Nights. David Fincher, Alien 3. I'm pretty sure he was 31 when he directed that.
Okay.
Ridley Scott directed The Duelist when he was fucking 40.
That's unbelievable.
Feature film debut, he was 40.
Because he's made 1,000 movies at this point.
He's 88.
Okay, well, then there we go.
Kane Parsons, The Backrooms, and you are indeed correct, 20. Martin Scorsese directed Who's Knocking at My Door? Who's That Knocking at the Door? I can't remember that one. Then it's Christopher Nolan with Following. The Ages is what's going to trip me up too. I made this last night. I believe he was 29, 26, and 24. Let's check my answers. 3. Fuck. Steven Spielberg was 26, David Fincher 29, Christopher Nolan 27, 26 when Paul Thomas Anderson made Hard 8, Kane Parsons was 20, Martin Scorsese was 24, Denis Villeneuve was 31, and Ridley Scott was 40 when he made The Duelists.
Well, goddamn, that's genuinely crazy. The Ridley Scott one, especially, actually insane.
Dude, if that doesn't make you feel a little bit of hope. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, look, he was a well-known commercial director before this point. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
I don't know how long he had been making directing like big commercials before this point. I knew he directed like the 1984 Apple, throwing the hammer into the screen. Like that's kind of like really what put him in on the map in terms of getting hired to make movies. But anyway, so yeah, I was surprised at how many of these were like late 20s, were later.
Oh, very common.
Yeah.
Like the youngest, best actor or best director nominee and winner or whatever is like 31 or something.
Yeah.
Like,
yes,
very,
I think the average feature film debut age is 30. So 30 or 31. So as somebody who's about to turn 31, I need to fucking hurry.
Yeah, guy, come on. Anyway, good game. That was hard.
Yeah.
The age thing. I very rarely think about the age of directors.
Recommendations. I've got a
recommendations.
Couple. Obviously, Marble Hornets feels very appropriate to recommend here. Like, obviously, I don't think the Marble Hornets guys have made a feature or anything like that. They have started a new series on the Marble Hornets channel, which I have not been keeping up with. I literally found it just a couple weeks ago. So that's fun. You love to hear it. Yeah. If you want an idea of really how fucking detailed this world can be, I think there's no better example of that than Marble Hornets. Night Mind is a YouTube channel that does these creepypastas. They're my favorite YouTube creepypasta explainer channel. They even have a cameo in Shelby Oaks, which I love. Literally in the theater, I was like, that's Night Mind, fuck yeah. Obviously I didn't scream, but in my head I was just like, that's Night Mind. If you want more backroomsy kind of shit, I cannot recommend myhouse.wad is a Doom is a Doom map maker thing, or it's a custom game built in the Doom engine. So in the original Doom 2 OG.
I think you've played this. I think you've talked to me about this before.
I've definitely talked. I probably recommended it on the podcast. If you like backrooms kind of shit, boy howdy, is this shit gonna fit right up your alley. It is so weird. It is so cool. You really there's no world you would be able to really quote unquote complete this game without following some guides, because it is also in the same way of Marble Hornets, incredibly detailed. There is there's a companion Google Drive link with photos and diary entries, and it all takes place in this world where this guy, his best friend, passed away, and they used to make Doom maps when they were kids, and this one was a Doom map of his house, and so he decided to finish it in honor of his friend, and then he posted it on the Doom forums, the Doom map forums, and it is just this really cool backrooms inspired horror game, and it's like genuinely incredible, like what he is able to do, the story he's able to tell in this game and with these tools available to him within the Doom engine. It's incredibly cool. I can't recommend it enough. It's really like super based off of the book House of Leaves, I believe, which I've desperately wanted to read for a really long time, which is also very like kind of Backrooms, liminal, weird. And then there's another book that I haven't read, but it feels appropriate because it's called Piranesi, which is also very like infinite hallway. And I believe the audiobook is read by Chiwetel Ejiofor, who is acting in the Backrooms. So
that's awesome.
If you want to, I started listening to the audiobook for Piranesi, but I never, I can't remember why I couldn't finish it, but I couldn't finish it. So those are some recommendations.
Very nice. I have one that's like not related at all. I guess I would recommend some other horror thing that I saw. Hokum with Adam Scott is in theaters right now, and it's horrifying. It is the scariest movie I've seen in a long while.
Wow.
It really fucked Breck and I up. We we got very spooked by that one. And Adam Scott is excellent in the movie. It's very cool. It's like an Irish horror movie, so it's got a fun folklore and a fun setting and a good mystery. So really into that one. The other thing I watched is The Pit. I've watched both seasons of The Pit. I've been kind of going through it. Had some stuff happen that I don't really want to like get into, but I've been not in a great place and having a very hard time. And that show is a very incredibly tough watch for me in relation to that kind of stuff, and I just found it deeply cathartic and deeply emotional and human. And I have not been this into a show since A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and before A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, I could not tell you when the last time I was into a show this much. Yeah. Watch The Pit, man. That show, it's one of those amazing things you watch where it's every disagreement between characters, they walk away in whatever state they walk away from each other, and Breck and I look at each other and go, they're both right.
Yeah.
They're both completely right. You know, it's splendidly written and very emotional and like a tough thing. Watch it when you're emotionally ready, unless you're like me, who's just like, I just have to do this. I have to keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Other than that, I've been watching a bunch of just random whatever's on kind of stuff. I finished The Sopranos. That's the other thing I did. I finally finished Sopranos. It's very good. That show is about the dumbest, most loser people who've ever lived, and I will not be told that is not what that show is about. David Cross could come and David Chase.
David Chase, I think.
David Chase could come and tell me I'm wrong about that, and I wouldn't believe him, because everyone in that show is stupid, and everyone in that show is unlikable, and everyone in that show, except Meadow. I'm a Meadow defender. Meadow is the only one who like never did anything super wrong. Anyway, The Sopranos is a very good, very interesting show. Definitely, you need to watch it.
Yeah.
I might watch The Many Saints of Newark tonight.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen that yet. Anyway, that's my recommendation.
Did you like the ending of The Sopranos?
I'm baffled by it. It stayed in my mind. I think there's a really easy way to read it, and I think there's a way that fits more into my view of the show that is also a valid way to read it. Yeah. You know the ending, or do you just know that it's controversial?
I know the ending.
Yeah. So, my read is I don't know if it's the popular one, but it's the one that fits more into these people are all pathetic losers who are bad at their jobs read of the show. So anyway.
Yeah.
The Sopranos. Anything else you got? Any other thoughts?
Nope. There's a lot of cool stuff. Go support the people that you like on the internet.
Yes.
And support your friends and family, because right now fucking sucks. Yep. And everything sucks. So go make something cool and go be nice and and care about the people around you.
Yeah. Or don't. I don't know. Live your life.
Please do.